Welcome to Thrones and Scones. It is your weekday morning podcast where we chitty-chat Game of Thrones over breaking our fast. It's Tony, Hans, and Jeremy in with you on this Wednesday, hitting Season 2, Episode 8, The Prince of Winterfell. The artist formerly known as Prince of Winterfell. Here. Hi, friends. How are you? So sorry. I'm kind of lopsided with this intro. Also, raspberry.
I was like, wait, where's the scone conversation?
Sorry.
I mean, we have to give due. I mean, we talk about it for a good 30 minutes every episode now, so we got to be consistent.
My throner mind just wanted to run right past it, but
all these zero sconer texts I'm getting.
Tony, is this obviously you don't want to spend too much time on it, but is this raspberry filled, raspberry jellied, just chunks of raspberry, or what are we talking?
You know what?
Do tell.
You know what? Yeah, let's do the scone first.
Yeah, let's mix it up.
Let's mix it up a little bit.
Whoa. We're going to talk about scones right now?
Yeah, let's, it's a Wednesday.
Beg every episode to talk about scones, and you're always like, oh, we're out of fucking time, Jeremy. Here, sit and spin on this for a little while.
Because let me tell you why, Jeremy. All right? Now that we've built this podcast empire upon it, I can go ahead and tear the whole thing down and say that scones kind of suck.
Whoa. I'd mute your ass in a heartbeat right now so I can explain to the people that
you don't have that audio hardware.
Scones literally make the world go round. Let's talk about the creative... where did scones orient in this world? Where did they come from? Are they more like a...
They orient?
Yeah, like... Oriented?
Was it the Orient?
The Orient. Well, I mean, we talked about some Asian things last time, but we won't go that direction today.
Please, God. No.
Please, God. So, what is a scone to you? Is it a biscuit? Is it like a muffin that is shaped like? So, I don't know if you
don't compare them to muffins.
Whoa.
If Game of Thrones, if anything in it rhymed with muffins, we would be having a different podcast right now because they're the superior pastry, and I can find like 90 flavors of muffins.
I don't
in this
agree
town.
at all. Muffins are always like weird because like when they put sugar and crap on top of them, and then they get like that moist top with like the dry bottom.
Hang on. Let me just say something. Hit us with that wiki, Tony.
Right. Okay. Very well. Season 2, Episode 8, The Prince of Winterfell. At Winterfell, Theon receives a visitor, and holds down the fort. Arya calls in her final debt with Jaqen in a way that displeases him. Robb is betrayed. Tyrion and Varys find common ground. Dany ignores Jorah's advice. Stannis and Davos approach their destination, and Davos is offered
a scone. A delicious raspberry scone.
It just says a reward, but I guess we could assume as much, that it might just be a scone. So, yeah, the Prince of Winterfell. Shall we address the title? Who's it talking about? It's up. I mean, right?
Yeah. Again, Theon. This is when Sister's coming and visiting, right? Isn't that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yara shows up. I don't have... I was trying to dissuade Hans off mic a little while ago. As he was saying, like, I don't have much for this episode. I just, like, kind of felt it was bleh. And I was trying to argue, but I also don't have very much written down for this episode. Because it's kind of...
It's all setting up things. It's all, like, just getting things going. We could start with Theon. I do think, he was expecting this grand... Yes, look what I've taken. You sent me to get a fishing village. I killed it. I've taken Winterfell. Send me, his sister's gonna come in with all his men. We're gonna hold it. We're gonna have our prize, our seat in this land that we can expand from. And she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You whiny little bitch! Like, you don't get this. Like, we're leaving. We're going. We're too far inland. We can't defend this." And he's like, Whoa. I literally did the most backstabbing thing I could possibly do to prove my honor, to prove who I am, and now you're telling me that was all for nothing? I think that kind of like catches him off balance a little bit.
I don't understand. Maybe I gotta be missing something here, but they straight up had the conversation. Balon Greyjoy is like, I can't do it, Balon. We're Ironborn, and
We take what we want.
Yeah. Look at this map. We take everything. We'll be the king. And Theon's like, we can't fight the Lannisters. And he says, well, who said anything about the Lannisters? He goes on to say that he's like going after the Stark lands. He's going to take the North while it's ripe for the taking.
Exactly.
And he straight up says, Winterfell could defy us for a year, but what of it? Like, he wants to take Winterfell, and now that he has it, he's upset?
Yeah. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Is it just because he couldn't control how it happened, or is it like, well, if you control Winterfell without controlling the land between it and the sea, it's kind of irrelevant? That's the only thing I can think of.
I think that's what his what his sister's point is in this area is like it's not that we didn't think we could take it, but you don't understand war. You don't get that you don't leap into the middle of the land you're trying to take. How do you defend? I mean, you have no ability to defend that then, right? Where he's like, no. Look, I mean, I was told that this would never be taken. You could have, if you had 100 men, I could defend it for years or whatever. And I think that was his kind of thing. It's like, how could you betray me that way? And she's like, we're too far from the water. You should come with me. You know what's coming. We can't prevent this now.
Now, do you think, because Yara makes this point that Theon did something very stupid in murdering the best leverage that he had and the most important things that, Bran and Rickon being worth so much. Theon's saying that he had to make this statement, otherwise people wouldn't respect him. As far as I can see, from what Theon is trying to gain from this conversation, he gets nothing by not telling Yara that they're not the Starks.
Right, and doesn't she kick out everyone? Isn't this like a private conversation? So why not tell her? I mean, yeah, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense.
I mean, he still lost them, and that's why she was chastising him in the first place, so maybe he doesn't want to fess up to that, which I guess, but
he's like, but she's like, we're not going to search for them, right? We're in the enemy land. We're not going to sit there and send a party to find them. It's going to lead to more loss already. It was obviously Theon's arc is interesting. You're starting to see a little bit of the panic, so it was all right. And then of course we know that Bran and Osha are now back in Winterfell. They're hiding.
They wait the whole episode basically to make the reveal.
Right. Because I mean, where were they gonna go, kind of thing. And
it's clever.
And again, Osha continues to show how good she is at kind of sneaking, thievery, and all those things. So.
Yeah. You know who's not great at sneaking and thievery and moving stealthily? Maester Luwin, who goes all the way down into the crypts to see them and, like, probably risks their safety.
Yeah. He's like, hey guys, what are you guys doing?
Like, that dude is untrusted right now. You don't think he's being watched? Yeah. I guess not.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
So there's a funny moment going over to King's Landing, kind of moving forward. I guess actually on the way there, we find out that instead of slitting his throat. Jeremy, you're infecting me. Instead of slitting his throat, Catelyn freed Jaime Lannister.
So
Shit.
What?
What was that?
I said, what the shit?
Yeah, what the...
And we talk about the Starks a lot from the first season of just how they seem to continually show that they are not meant to rule because they make so many stupid emotional decisions. And sadly, we're going to say that with Robb as well in the future. And Catelyn just gets played again.
What happens to Robb?
I mean, he makes a very intelligent, well-thought decision and falls in love, right? And we see him, in season 7, so it's all good.
And it turns out
I must have missed that. Yeah, I don't even remember that.
You don't remember the whole love arc thing? Oh yeah, it's super not violent. So we're fine.
I kind of remember the love part,
cool.
but I don't remember it turning out bad.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Now that I think about it, it just kind of fizzles out.
It does. Delayed. But
I mean, who? So are you saying that Catelyn is one of these making irrational? Fuck my words. Irrational.
It's an irrational decision. Let's agree. But it doesn't. To me, it leads to one of the most interesting stories in the next couple of episodes, and that's Brienne and Jaime. Right, them together is really enjoyable and is really good. Like the stories and the conversations they have, and again, I think that's now where you're starting to see Jaime hit rock bottom. which kind of leads to some cool things, which I
mean, we're far from it.
Oh,
at this point,
yeah,
Jeremy's not.
I'm not. Season 5.
Oh my god! But I just want to take it back 8 episodes and remind everyone, who was it again that thought that maybe Catelyn Stark should be on the Iron Throne? I can't remember.
Okay, I think again, context of when we were talking about things, because we could fuck each other all day long with knowing what happens. Yeah, no, she's a smart lady. She doesn't always make dumb decisions. She loves her family.
Yeah. I haven't.
I mean, again, even our good boy Ned, right? I mean, like, he clearly loved and had honor to the point where he didn't have honor, which Jamie points out last episode. So.
Speaking of married couple, what's up with the sitcom conversation between Tyrion and Bronn? They're just sitting there and he's like, do you have to, clean your fingernails here? And, oh, fun, can't do that. And then he starts doing like the, tapping the table. Tyrion gives him the side eye. They go back and forth on what they should wear. It's a very odd moment.
Yeah, and then he goes, what, are you just going to sit there and stare at me? You guys, you can't do anything else? I'm surprised there wasn't a laugh track behind that.
Ha!
Bronn's character is good right now, and I like that. He reminds him all the time that he is a sword cell, and he has to pay him more and all those things, or that like that's their relationship. But clearly, there's more. He goes out of his way to make a lot of really smart moves for Tyrion, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, I like Bronn.
And Tyrion, I don't mean to shit on Tyrion too much. He's got an awesome moment where he, basically, I was going to say double teams, but what I meant was double agents.
I was going to say, are we already at the juggling?
Yeah. Double agents Cersei a little bit, and she thinks she's playing him quite hard. And he's actually, he's pulling one over on her with the doppelganger, getting poor Roz in there to take the heat.
Yeah, Roz is just getting thrown around now. I feel bad.
It is a bit of a bummer.
It is a bit of a bummer. I don't kind of think of anything negative with her. I mean, she cares about people when they die. She, moved there looking for a better life. She thought, that Littlefinger was going to give her all these opportunities and treat her well. He's an asshole. She kind of then hitches her boat to someone else, and I don't know. It's kind of too bad for Ross.
Hans, I know you're kind of allergic to exposition and stuff. You're very critical of over-expository moments. I'm curious what you thought between that nice but very storytelling conversation between Stannis and Davos.
Oh, Stannis and Davos' conversation.
They basically give the whole backstory of Davos' life.
Yeah, and it's all like Stannis is this where Stannis is talking about how people look down on Davos because of his past or something, and then he gives the entire life story just to conclude with, but you will be my hand. I will be king and you will be my hand, and like all this stuff. It was whatever. I don't know if it's fine.
It was a good moment because they've had some rough goes at each other the past couple episodes. I mean, understandably, Davos is still a little concerned about being the shadow baby midwife without being told.
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't have the training for that. How uncomfortable can a man feel? And so it was, it felt good. Felt like he deserved it.
I think I'm just going to start my everyday conversations in a much more expository form, Like, I'm just going to come up and talk to you guys and maybe like, Tony. Tony. We've been friends since I moved to our hometown when we were only 15. And even then, I always thought, and just like go on for 10 minutes every episode before I actually say the one thing I probably want to say to you.
Dost thou remember that brisk summer? Wasn't it pleasant on the limbs?
But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Can I borrow $5?
For what? It is the Taco Bell. It does call me so.
Oh my gosh, guys! They're bringing the nacho fries back. I don't know if you have seen.
I know. Why do they take them away? It doesn't.
That's a great question. I still have yet to figure out if this is like for permanency or just temporary. I don't know.
They did that for a while with this. So the cheesy gordita crunch A little educational session here real quick. Cheesy Gordita Crunch first debuted quite a few years ago, a while back. And then, of course, it was a promotional thing. I can't remember, they probably brought it back a couple times, they removed it. But interestingly enough, the Cheesy Gordita Crunch had the beautiful ability to be just they weren't using anything new. They had the materials there. So even when they didn't have the Cheesy Gordita Crunch, there was never a time where you couldn't order it. It was not on the menu. Oh. It was like was the promotional events, and then they said, before the Cheesy Gordita Crunch goes away, get yours now or whatever, for a limited time. But there was never a time. There was multiple years when it wasn't on the menu, and I still ordered it every single time. No problem. The fries, on the other hand, unfortunately, are not the same because they obviously have to have the fries, which they don't have for anything else. So until they start putting their fries just in their burritos and stuff, which I'm surprised hasn't happened yet.
There was one. Wasn't there a fry burrito when they first came out with
I don't think there was a fry burrito. I think there was
They put the fries in something.
Probably.
They put the fries in something.
One of our 12 listeners out there, if anyone knows, hit us up on the email or our social media and set us straight, because I would like to know. Because I'm going to be upset if there was and I missed it.
Do you think these cheesy fries are going to have the impact on fast food the way the McRib has?
Do you mean the bullshit that is a sandwich that should have never existed in the first place?
But how many of you people, how many of us know someone that, like, when the McRib comes back, they're always like, oh my god, I cannot wait. I'm like, you want plastic. You want plastic.
I hope not. Because the McRib has been in and out for what? Longer than I was alive?
Oh god, I have no idea how long I think it's been. But it looks disgusting every time it comes back in, and I'm always amazed that people are like, oh my god, the McRib. And I'm like, no, never.
I've never had one, but I'm confident I hate it.
I feel like we have to have a McRib.
Yeah.
I didn't think people really cared that much about the McRib, I guess. I mean, obviously they do if they keep bringing it back. But I will say, when I do go to McDonald's and the McRib is there, I usually get it.
What?
Oh
my god, maybe I should try one. Is there a so is this a Shamrock Shake thing? Is there McRib season, or did they just announce it randomly?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't actually go to McDonald's that often, to be honest.
Yeah,
so it's not.
And I've also never had a Shamrock Shake. It's just like vanilla ice cream with green, right? That's what it looks like.
No, it's mint.
Oh, I don't know. I could do that. Getting back to Game of Thrones. Great. Let's talk about another really good in this episode. Harrenhal.
Seamless transition.
Seamless, of course. Yes. Harrenhal, Jaqen, again, anytime that he's with Arya and their conversation, best part of the show, when she tells him his name and he's like fucking pissed at the world, but does not change at all. I love it.
But why does he even care that she says his name if it's not even his real name?
Yeah, but it hasn't been established yet, you know?
Yeah, but then why would he? So then he's really just doing it to help her, because
I think he just wants to help her.
Yeah.
But man, he's like, you cannot give a man his name.
A man can go kill himself. That's my favorite line.
Take it back. It's like, no, and he's like, but you will take it back.
Yeah.
No, I that entire sequence, and again with her convincing again the whole. It needs to happen now. The last episode where Tywin's still looking for the attempted assassination on him. He feels, but which is good because it makes him a little paranoid. And then Arya gets the letter, gets caught with it, kind of comes up with the whole shit. I'm effed. I gotta get out of here. She of course is loyal. Goes and grabs hot pie and Gendry and wants to get out of there. So
Gendry.
Nope, it's Gendry.
So speaking of that exact moment, why? Why? When they're like, he says, you will leave at midnight or whatever, and all that stuff. Are you across through the door at midnight? Whatever his quote is, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway. So Arya's got has got Gendry, hot pie, they're there, they're gonna leave. And then Arya's like, no, that's what he said, I'm gonna go. And then she runs out. Gendry says, no, Aerie. Why does he call her Aerie?
I think Hot Pie says that.
Hot Pie says it?
I think it's his accent. That or we talked, I don't remember.
No, because
they definitely do say Aerie.
Yeah. But why? So everyone knows that she's a girl now. That's been established.
Yeah.
So why are they still calling her Aerie?
Well,
or is
so she's not going to give her actual name out.
Oh, because everyone's still calling her Aerie.
Yeah, so Gendry's the only one that knows she's Arya at this point.
Okay, I thought Gendry said it, but if Hot Pie says it, that makes much more sense.
Even I would think that Gendry probably wouldn't say it in whatever public setting this is. Which, by the way, okay, fine. Jaqen is hesitant because he's like, oh my god, I'm going to have to take more than one life. This is against the thing. He obviously went to some painstaking detail to kill these guards.
To post them.
Don't you? Yeah, and post them up so that they look like they're still on their guard duty. Do you think that maybe perhaps he could have gone to the same length and just knocked them unconscious?
That's a good point.
Like, yeah, I mean, because he says that's a rule, and he could have taken just one, but clearly he doesn't. It's still such a badass scene. I enjoy that.
It's so good.
So before we get into our good and our best and worst or good and bad, exactly. Let's take me north of the wall, Tony. What was happening up there?
I don't know. I didn't write anything about it.
Oh, with Corran and Jon Snow, right?
Are they captured at this point?
They're captured now.
Yes, they're captured.
Okay, so Corran gives a little sly thing here. You can see this dude is a dutiful fella. He's one of these watch guys that they've talked about, like, oh, good rangers don't last long. It's the medium ones that go the distance or whatever. But this guy is selfless as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is all about the mission here, going so far as to already set up some things that, are beyond him entirely. Kind of cool, a little weird.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah. This is you're talking about when he tells Jon to infiltrate, basically, and kind of
do what must be done.
Yeah.
Don't let they died for me. Don't let it be for nothing.
Yeah, and it's kind of all they got, really, at that point.
Yeah.
And then
true.
Ygritte saves Jon Snow from the Bones dude, King of Bone. It's interesting.
I was when I was watching episodes earlier, I was trying to think of that guy's actual name. I don't know if they ever call him anything but the Lord of Bones in the show, but he's got a quote unquote actual other name, and all that I could come up with is Radagast, which is the wizard from The Hobbit. It's Rattleshirt. I had to look it up.
Rattleshirt. I was a little taken because I would think that. If they're calling this guy the King of Bones or Lord of Bones, whatever they're calling him, King of Bones, Lord of Bones, obviously these people have not met Hodor yet.
He's the god of bones. Hodor.
And also another thing that we get, I think this is the first time they bring it up or show it, the dragon glass is brought up in this episode, which, we don't get a lot, obviously, now, but we kind of get some lore things in the future. And of course it's Sam, right, who just bumbles through all things. He's like, this is shiny.
It's obsidian.
Some people call it obsidian.
It looked pretty.
Yeah. And then James, okay, I got a question for you guys. I think probably, I guess I don't know how much bad we've said about this episode, actually, now that we've kind of gone through a lot of it. Maybe to wrap up the good and ask a little question. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. So Jaime says, because Brienne kind of challenges Jaime one of these times, and Jaime kind of laughs and says, oh, you think you could beat me, or whatever he says. There's only 3 men in the entire kingdoms that might have a chance against me.
Yeah.
What 3 guys do you think he's talking about?
Barristan Selmy.
For sure.
Yep.
Loras Tyrell.
For sure.
And the Mountain.
Okay, that was my 3 as well. That's what I think as well. I don't know. The Mountain was my one that I had a question mark by, though.
But maybe maybe he's talking about Oberyn.
Maybe.
Because he's like the most famous warrior out of Dorne, and I know we haven't seen them at all or anything like this, but
could be.
I don't know.
Jeremy, thoughts? Anything to add there?
I mean, I think the Hound is underrated right now in this.
Yeah, but do you think
group.
Jaime would think that?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so.
I think he would give him due respect with that.
He probably doesn't even know who the Hound is.
No, it's true. But
I've actually. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was saying, but Jaime admits now that he is not as good as he used to be. Right. Later, as he's coming up.
Does he say that?
No. I'm saying as he's getting later in the episodes, he talks about currently in his age, right? He's not he's not the warrior he used to be already. And so I don't know. I think the people you brought up are completely believable.
Yeah. I'm taking the mountain back. He's obviously referring to Joffrey, who is very confidently going to give Stannis a red smile from ear to ear.
I do like. Was that this episode?
Yeah.
I do like when Tyrion says, and he says, how scared he will be, or like something like how frightened he'll be to Bronn. That's really funny. That's a good part.
Is this, unless I'm getting my things mixed up, I think he says to Varys, like, imagine Stannis is right, and Varys goes, I am trying to.
Yeah, you're right. I thought it was to Brian. It was to Varys, and he says, imagine his terror. Yeah, that was good. Which, and I'm going to just throw out my worst, because I need to say it. Apparently, we're getting to, and this probably takes us to our Jugglies portion as well. We get to see a little Talisa butt and some side boob.
How's that bad? How can we argue that?
No, that's not my bad.
Oh, I was like, oh my god.
But before this, just in general with Talisa, apparently CPR is a thing in the Game of Thrones world. They just know advanced cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Is that really that advanced? I feel like I would think of, if there's something in them, push it out of them.
I don't know. Yeah, but how would they know that? I mean, do they have like advanced like anatomy class or something? They know how this works? I don't think CPR was invented until like the 1900s.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak to this.
I mean, maybe they didn't call it CPR. Maybe they called it push it out of them.
Maybe.
When was CPR invented?
1960.
1960, so says Google.
So right around the same time. Right around the same time.
I mean, do you think this show could take place in the 60s?
Maybe.
Have we been missing
it's
this?
An alternate timeline. Maybe this is just some. Maybe this is just some third world country that does all this, and there's.
It's like The Village.
Yeah. There's just walls. Yeah. At the last episode, we'll have the last episode will just have like a name at the end. M. Night Shyamalan. He wrote the whole series.
God.
George R.R. Martin takes his face off.
It's M. Night.
He's like, got you bitches. You thought I was bad?
Speaking of which, Glass just came out this past weekend. Did anybody go see it?
No, it's getting kind of mediocre reviews. No, I didn't see what are the
Split?
beats, the Split. Was it good?
I haven't seen it yet either, just because I stay away from horror movies, but I want to see it just because I do want to see
Yeah,
Glass.
but now I want to see it because it kind of has that connection.
I don't even remember. I remember watching it as a kid, but I don't really remember Unbreakable.
Oh, I thought Unbreakable was good.
I loved Unbreakable as a child.
Yeah. So we do agree that our prediction, I know it's a little early, but our end of the series prediction, we're putting it in writing, is George R.R. Martin coming out, ripping his face off, Faceless Man style, and it is M. Night Shyamalan, and then he goes, and I was a ghost the whole time.
And then
he's like,
you see the pages of a book close on that scene, and it's Sean Bean, and he looks up, and he's like, and that's the story.
How do I know so much about? And then he goes, how do I know so much about George R.R. Martin or M. Night Shyamalan? Because I am M. Night
Shyamalan. Can we talk scones again?
I think we should talk scones.
Oh, perfect. I had so much pent up to say. I have raspberry scone today. It's from Hy-Vee. It's pretty good.
All right.
You can catch us.
I might have to try it. Wow, I might have to try that one.
What, we're going to talk about scones? Yeah, so tell me more.
If you want to hit up our social media, you can find us at Thrones and Scones on Facebook, where you'll catch the episodes, on Twitter, where you'll catch the episodes right when they go live, and on Instagram, where you can see the scones and gauge them for yourselves.
I'm sorry. I forgot my most important part of the show. We find out a question everyone's been dying to have answered. Cersei says to Varys, is it because, it's because you don't have a cock.
Well, she says it's
so we
Tyrion.
know now it's not just the balls.
Oh, Tons! What a catch! I literally have a note 2 episodes in that says like
She says
I
because
caught
Varys
something.
doesn't have a cock. Sorry.
I caught something else that I was like, ooh, does this mean Varys doesn't have a penis? But it was all but said there. I mean, she could have just been using the word cock to refer to like the idea of it.
I don't know. I think this is our answer.
Oh, Varys, the Prince of Winterfell. We'll see you tomorrow. You down with GOT?
Yeah, you know me.
Shadow Demon, baby. Shadow Demon, baby.
You know what it sounds like? The, what's it called? It's that musical that people are obsessed with John Travolta.
Grease.
Sounds like Grease. It has a little Grease thing going on, right? Go,
Shadow Demon, baby, coming out the vagina. Shadow Demon, baby.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I was also thinking we need like a little jingle for our show too. I was just wondering how, if it's just a jingle, how close can you be to something else without getting sued when we evidently become very, very famous? For example, I had a couple in mind. Just we keep it easy, keep it simple. Thrones and scones, thrones and scones.
I don't think Disney's very protective of their material. They'll probably be okay with that.
Or maybe just something. I don't even know if I'm sure this is something, but what about thrones and scones?
Something quick to the point.
Yeah.
It would be. I'm so sorry. My mind is just stuck on all things Grease now.
I know.
Now we could. Melisandre, you birthed a shadow demon to kill my brother. Tell me about it, Stannis. Oh, Christ.
Good.
Okay, well. Thrones and scones. Thrones and scones.
Oh, man, the Shadow Demon baby has to happen soon.
It's so funny because, like, we would make a jingle about the episodes we don't give a shit about.
Yes. The most fucked up thing ever.
If anything, we should be making a song about balls and Hodor's penis. Hodor's penis.
It exactly took us 44 minutes to talk about his penis.
Yay. We did it, Dad. Aren't you proud? So glad my parents listened to these. I regret that decision real hard.